Okay, morning everybody. Next couple of minutes still. Just easy, rolling off the couch. I have a guest in here with me today. Another girl who coaches locally and is doing all kinds of great things in the community. Joni and I met 20 years ago, apparently. She was a junior. Okay, so as we're just rolling the pedals over, anywhere around that sort of 3 out of 10, remembering that that is pretty much just rolled out of bed, got your coffee, off the couch, on the bike. Feeling nice and comfortable. Oh yeah, that's good. Got our coffee right on the side there. You know, remember Coach Brian? He used to bring his coffee up here Saturday mornings, a burrito at halftime, all of that good stuff. Bumped into Brian actually. Bumped into him doing a nice little lap around West Van here. Looking like he's actually been riding his bike a little bit, so that was great. And I just have to comment on the tour. I don't know how many of you are finding it, tuning in, but even if you're not a bike race fan, I tell you what, right now, watching this stuff and studying for my commentating gig coming up, you could not write better movie scripts. Actually, if it was a movie, you'd go, yeah, right, as if that would ever happen. That's so fake. That's so fake. Sure, some guy comes out of retirement, hasn't worn the green jersey for however long, comes through and wins after a guy gets caught at the line 300 meters before. Anyway, and that's not all. Matthew Vanderpool, who's in the yellow, is true to form as one of the most incredible bike riders, I'm gonna say, on the planet, is really doing a number out there. Won a stage in memory of his grandfather, who had 14 Tour de France appearances but never actually wore the yellow, and Matthew went away with the yellow just about a year after he passed away. So that's pretty fairy tale as well. And today they have a time trial, which we can probably find later on today. A couple hours, they'll be done. And in honor of that, we're gonna do a little time trial workout today. So if you're wondering what's ahead of you, some nice sustained build through time trial effort, and we'll get to that in a little while. Now we're just coming out of this super easy. Bring it up to at least your 5 out of 10, 50%, preferred cadence, so that's 90 to 100 RPM. And just roll along like this for the next best part of a minute. And then we'll get into our structure part of the warm-up, giving you some guidelines. But just for right now, as we start the workout for today, I want you, if you are anywhere in this heat wave, anywhere close by, hopefully you're getting some respite out of it. I know lots of people here training for the various climbing challenges and managing it in various different ways. Tonight we're doing an actual talk with our few people who have done their Everest or have tried. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But in Vancouver and around here, BC, excruciatingly hot, and so have to be mindful that you might even get out for your workout early in the day, but it is tiring, fatiguing on your body, and you just got to be a little careful about that. And not trying to do too much. It'll be there when the climate gets back a little bit back to normal here. Okay, 60% now, preferred cadence, and I do want you under 100 RPM. Most of you will find that pretty easy to gravitate to. So 60% is the wattage number or the effort level. So that's our group riding kind of pace. 60% of MAP. Can put sentences together. Fairly conversational because we're fully aerobic, right in that endurance pace range. Okay? So settle into this 90-ish cadence. 60%. And we're going to do some little rotations as though we're on a group ride, taking turns just at the front, 45 seconds, and then bringing it back. We'll still ride 60%, but using a higher cadence and a much lighter gear. So you know how to manage that based on the kind of trainer you're on. Those of you with the smart trainers, you'll be keeping the wattage level the same, but allowing yourself some more cadence to turn it over. All right? So in another 20 seconds, we're going to bring up the cadence, back off the gear, nice and relaxed through the shoulders, thinking about our center, nice and strong. Even when we're riding easy, you want to be aware of your form. Good place to practice. Okay, let's just back the gear off now. If you're on a bike, where you can just back the gear off, bring the cadence up. We'll do a minute 15, a minute more, where we're generating that 6 out of 10 power, but we're at a higher cadence. Let's try and tip it over 100 RPM, up to about 105. And those of you without information, just remember, use my legs as a reference point. Hopefully your Wi-Fi isn't flipping in and out. But 30 more seconds. Relax. Watch those shoulders right away. Keep the eyes up. You want to look where you're going. Head of the bike at all times. Not staring at your front wheel. All kinds of bad things happen when you're doing that. All right? Going into that turn on the front again. Remember the power output, still 60%, but we're dropping the cadence. So for me, bringing up the gear a little bit. If you're on a regular bike, bringing up the gear a little bit. Smart trainer, just adjusting so that you can utilize this higher cadence. Awesome. Looking at Joni out of the corner of my eye, I can tell she was a track racer. Got that annoying ease with the high cadence. We time trialists and mountain bikers, doesn't come so easily. Okay, we're gonna bring that high cadence in again. Another 10 seconds. So generating the same power, we're just gonna keep doing this for best part of 8 minutes. Okay, back the gear off a little bit. Generating the power again. Higher leg speed this time. You will be doing a lot of gear changing and a lot of cadence changing today as we focus on a big build effort. And then just a little bit of fun stuff at the end. Okay, 105. While you're riding easy early on, remember, taking some water in. "20 more seconds like this. I'm at 105 cadence. I'm at 60% power, or 6 out of 10, where we can talk. Next time through, we'll think about the feet a little bit. Let's bring the cadence now down to that 90-ish again. Bring the gear up. Still at easy power. Good job, guys. Nice little transitions. One of the benefits right now, actually, of riding indoors when we have a heat wave here is you actually can set yourself up in a cool environment, give yourself the opportunity to get the quality. Okay, cadence up, gear down. %60. Same thing. I said this time, start thinking about our feet, pressure against the pedals, always being aware of those changes. I like to remind people that as you keep aware of that pressure against the pedals, it allows you to react quickly, changes in the road, changes in the trail, making little gear adjustments, maximizing your effort. Gonna pull through again in 15 seconds. I'm gonna drop the cadence in 10. All right, dropping the cadence, 90-ish. Bring the gear up again so that you're back at that 60%. Awesome job. Legs should be feeling a little warmed up. Always feels a lot like we're pedaling squares in the beginning. It gets better. Another 10 seconds. And we're gonna go back to that higher leg speed. 3, 2, higher leg speed, little bit of gear off. Last time. Turn those legs over, somewhere around 105, but just mainly I want you to be over 100 RPM. Nicely done, guys. Another 45 seconds. Bring the shoulders down. Relax. Deep breath. In, out. 30 more seconds. I've told you a bunch of times how often I still get on the bike and go, oh, my legs feel like crap today. And like Maggie says, just try and do a bit. Just try and get through a bit. Tells herself, 10 seconds. Very little brief break. After this, last 5, 2, 1. Comfortable cadence, whatever you like. And go back to about a 3 out of 10 effort. So rolling the legs over. So Coach Maggie actually has been away at Pan Am Championships on the track, and she sent me a picture the other day with at least 3 medals around her neck. So that's always good to see. She's really come on form again. And Maggie also won big crit down in the States. So great to see our coaches out there delivering on the scene. Okay, so you're in an easy gear. We are just going to do an easy cadence ramp. All right, get the legs lively. Feel those upper ends of cadence that those of us who didn't grow up on the track in the velodrome have a harder time reaching maybe. But we're gonna start right where we are, kind of comfortable. Prefer cadence 90 to 100. I'm gonna ask you to increase the cadence in a little pyramid. We're gonna go up to around 115, top it over that for 30 seconds and back down. So it's gonna be 5 minutes where we're turning the pedals over very crisply, and I want you to keep backing off the gear so you can do it. This is not about effort, this is about leg speed. This is about reminding our body to turn the pedals over more quickly sometimes than we naturally would. So 10 seconds, we're starting. Make sure that wattage is low. All of you under 5 out of 10, 50%. Preferred cadence, just to build up for the first one, and then I want you to be 100 cadence at the end of this 30 seconds. I'm at 98, 99, bringing it up. Settle in your saddle. Remember to keep the upper body quiet. It allows you to do this. And then we're gonna bring it up to 105 on my cue. Keep backing the gear off if you're getting too much workload in there. 2, 1, tipping it over, 100, 105. Remember, that's only a pedal stroke every 15 seconds. These are very subtle increases. Good to get used to the feeling. 10 seconds. You're gonna start pushing it up to 110. Some of those bikes, this is a little easier. Here we go. Up, up, 110. Talk about this being overreaching for pretty much everybody. Although we know that talking about our track cyclists, they will do entire races in the high teens, over 120 leg speed to achieve the output. Okay guys, pushing it up again. 115. Try and play that game where you see the number, the cadence number, look away, see if you can hold it. Get that locked in your brain. After this one, we're gonna bring it up again. In 3, 2, whatever you can do, just a little more snap, 30 seconds. Come on, quick feet. Awesome. Feel like the pedals are getting away from you a little bit. Just really try and focus on staying smooth. You've got another 5 seconds, but we're coming back to 115. 2, 1, catch it on the way down. It's a hard transition. I know you want to just back right off, but it feels a lot easier than on the way up. 115. Hold it. Hold it. Not bringing it down again yet. 5 seconds. 2, 1, 110. Still overreaching. Still higher than we want to turn the legs over. Good job. Settle. Shins maybe hurt a little bit. With that higher leg speed, that's on our upstroke, trying to get the legs over quickly, but we're going back to a more normal cadence now. 105, bring it down. Top end of our optimal flat riding cadence, a little high, but still you may use it. 15 seconds, 105, hold on to it here. settled in the saddle. You got 2, 1, back to 100. Now we're comfy. Now even as time trial mountain bike people are more comfortable. Okay, and do one more transition in 15 seconds. Bring it back to your normal. In 3, 2, and bring it down. So one little fun fact, I have my friend Joni in here. We both actually were coached by the same track coach, Eric Vandenine, and he, I haven't told her this, but he was the one who forced all these kinds of leg speed drills into my program because I was losing my snap, and my starts weren't good, and I needed to get some acceleration. Like, why do I have to turn my legs so fast to do that? It's like, well, you gotta train those muscle fibers. You're not gonna go that high, but it's what's gonna keep the speed alive in your legs. And I believe him, because I did actually retain a little bit, for sure, for a long time. Okay, easy pedaling now. I'm gonna tell you what the bulk of the workout is. So get yourself recomposed. We're gonna be another 3 minutes here. Get a little drink of water. Anything you have to do. Jill maybe has to refill her coffee. Don't really advise it, but okay. Nice, easy circles. We're gonna talk later today about our Everesting challenge for those of you still waiting to do yours. And we have had a few people already throw one down, and most notably Marla Zook, who trains with us from Whistler, and she actually did her, well, she did 9,000 meters just to be sure on Stonebridge, and there were times of the day that it was creeping up to 37, 39 degrees on the hill. Her husband Ted, I think maybe pushing the pace a little bit, ended up getting heat stroke. He's gonna save it for another day, try again. And then we've got Donna, who did her 7 days, right to plan, and rode up to her favorite tree on Cypress to get a little bit of a, what do you call it, pep talk, and continued to her plan every day, accomplishing her goal. And she had lots of good takeaways as well. And then Coach Colleen did a half Everest as a test to just check on her plan, and she had some good thoughts after that, and she is going to be doing the whole thing on Monday. So lots of excitement, but for us right now, the excitement is we are going to start our TT intervals. Now the thing here is that we're starting at a comfortable output around your FTP. We know it varies a little bit in percentage, but for most of you, that 70-75% is realistic, 75% of your MAP. We are going to increase a little bit each minute. So thinking about it as getting to 8 out of 10, 80% watts, second minute, right up to your 85%, and then you're gonna keep trying to give it a little bit of gas through the other 2 minutes here, okay? Finishing strong. You are not going back to full recovery. You're doing 4 minutes, riding at 50%, okay? And then we're going into another one. The first one, we're keeping the RPM consistent, around 90. You're going to increase the gear to generate the watts. The second one, we're going to use RPM, okay? So you're going to be changing your RPM. All right, so get ready for this now. The next 45 seconds, rolling right into it. Hard start there. Find that 90 RPM. while you're in an easy effort level. And then going into this, the next 30 seconds, I want you to bring it up right now if you're not already there. 50%, 5 out of 10. And keep going. 60%. 15 seconds to go till we start. Next one. Up to 7 out of 10. And we're getting going on our interval in 3, 2, and 1. 75%. Settle in. Settle in. Just think about the cadence, pressure against the pedals. Once you see the number, as long as you don't change anything, you should retain the power. No variables like the road changing. One of the things from the Tour de France, Mathieu van der Poel figured he'd lose the jersey today. He's not been focusing on time trial like the big GC guys usually do. It's a very specific mindset. You want to be aero, efficient. We're going to change the gear in 5 seconds, bringing it up. Watch the wobbling. Try and stay steady on the bike. Yeah. Okay. Bring the gear up. 1 minute at 80%. Hold that 90 cadence. Watch your shoulders. Nice strong circles. Just hold that cadence. One of the big things in time trial work is how much of a mental game it is. You have to think you're good to be good. Because it kind of sucks just riding hard for a big stretch of time. And you're going to make it harder now. Gear up, 90 cadence, 85%. Come on now. This is way up into that hard range. Between 8 and 9 out of 10, 85% for those of you who know your numbers properly. Three minutes like this and harder. We're catching our minute person up the road. It's gonna give us a little carrot. "15 seconds like this, then we're gonna make it harder." And that's the key. We're making it harder. We're increasing the gear. That's what time trial is all about. In your head, bring it up now. 2, 1, pop it over that 85% number. A little bit more gear. Plus 10, plus 20 watts. Just nudge it up. Want to be able to hang on. Watch your shoulders. Eyes up the road. Awesome job, guys. Come on. Feel those circles all the way around. 360 degrees. Not a Stairmaster. Come on. Push, push. Going into the last minute. And you're going to bring it up again. Come on, eyes up. Keep that center solid. I see a little bit of wobbling side to side. Try not to do that. That's energy going out side to side. Power going forward. Next gear increase. Last 60 seconds, okay? 2, 1, up, up. Come on. Dig into it. Push. Think you can, think you can. Go all the way now. Last 30 seconds coming up. I'll give you that cue. There it is, 30 to go, come on. There's that minute man, or woman, or person, right ahead. Just gonna pass them. 15 seconds to go. Come on, guys. Dig in. 10. Little bit more. Little bit more. Last 5 seconds. 3, 2, 50%. Catch it on the way down. Comfortable cadence. 90 to 100 RPM. Recover, recover. So imagine, you know you want to just soft pedal. You gave yourself a little bit of sliding space, maybe backed off a little bit more than 50%. Bring it back now. Focus on the cadence, 90 to 100. Make sure that gear is there. This is your rest. One of the things, actually improving your time trial, you'll work on your top end power, but also working on hard, call them sort of VO2 type intervals where you are redline and you learn to sustain that, even build on it, and then you take away some recovery and that starts to allow you to put it together in a half hour, whatever the length of a time trial is. So you've got still 2.5 minutes, riding at 50%. Remember, we're riding our bike in the middle here. Recover, recover. If you did let it back off a little bit there, let's make sure we do the next 2 minutes actually generating our 50% power. The next set is going to be starting at an 80 cadence, so more like a crisp climbing cadence, and we are going to keep backing the gear off this time and generating the power using our leg speed. Partly why I had you do a little pyramid, get used to popping it up to those high ranges. This was never my favorite place. Minute and a half to go in this 50%. So those of you that haven't checked in on the tour, which is happening right now, is we have the leader in the yellow, as I referred to, Matthew Vanderpool, who is just one of the best bike riders on the planet. He rides all kinds of, well, he's a cyclocross world champion. He's won Grand Tour stages now, or recently, and classics, and also World Cup mountain bike races. So he is actually getting ready for the Olympic mountain bike race. And I'm gonna say, not a bad call, because for the guys completing the tour on the road, most of them wouldn't have that option, but he does. Very hard transition to go to Japan right after the finish of the tour and have to race in less than 5 days after that in an Olympic race. So he has a little extra time, and he is definitely a contender to win that. 10 seconds, guys. 80 cadence. Bring it down. I want you back at that 75% number. Here we go. In 2, 1. Back to that hour power. FTP number. 1 minute. Anytime we go easy, a little hard to go back to the push. Again, it's partly mental, learning how to do it. Just get into that rhythm. It's all about finding your rhythm. When you do a time trial, you warm up, you stand around waiting for your start. First 30 seconds to a minute usually feels pretty blocky. Ready? In 10 seconds, you're gonna back the gear off a little bit and get to your 80%. Okay, so we're doing this by leg speed. In 2, 1, here we go. Somewhere up towards 85, 90 cadence now. Settle into it. Doing this will help you also determine where the points are that you feel the most efficient. Doing a block of work where you're changing your cadence around, holding on to the same output. You will feel if 95 RPM feels way better than 85. And if 105 feels better, well, what a surprise that is. Okay, we're gonna bring it up now. It's getting hard. Next 3 minutes. Back the gear off a little bit, up to our 85% number. In 2, 1, up, up. Settle into the saddle, eyes up. We got another person we're chasing down. Time trials, I used to like to count. I don't really know what it did for me, other than took my attention away from my legs hurting and more on keeping them turning around fast. Because our legs all hurt. Doesn't get easier. Just go faster. And you've got 10 seconds. You're gonna try and bring the watts up a little bit. 10 to 20 with an increasing cadence. Last 2 minutes, up, up. Awesome, guys. Push, push, push. Stay committed to this now. Less than 2 minutes. I'm around 105, 106 RPM. You're trying to manage your effort. Red line and over. Breathe. All right, you're coming up in 10 seconds to the hardest minute. Person you're chasing is right there. We're gonna take him in 30 seconds. 2, 1, up, up. Come on, guys. Keep it together, keep it together. Eyes ahead of the bike. Where you wanna go. I'm gonna give you halfway. Come on, dig deep. Come on, everyone. 30 seconds. There you go. Passing your person decisively. Making up ground ahead. 15. Last little bit, guys, come on. 10. All the way through. Then 50%. 2, 1, 50%. Back it off. Recover, recover. Don't let go entirely. This counts as well. 90 to 100 cadence. Get it back there first. And some gear back if you let it go too far down. Measure or pay attention to how much time it takes you to come down. You're getting fitter. Your graphs on your heart rate would get a little steeper, the recovery happening more quickly. However, I'll go back to real time right now and what's happening with the heat. You may notice you have some elevated heart rate. If you're trying to ride, it's not coming back down as quickly as it should because of the heat. Same way fatigue and sickness will impact you, which is why you need to be careful. Just need to be pulling it back a little bit. 2.5 minutes. I want you to keep the pressure on the pedals here. You're doing your recovery at 50%. Then we're gonna do some short sharp. Make sure that gear's there. It should feel easy-ish, only not easy because you've come off the hard effort. Halfway through your recovery. One of the things we're going to talk about tonight, I do see a few of our 3-day Everesters on there who are going to be putting it together in about 3 days, so that's big ask, 3,000 to 4,000 meters a day. And Ted, our coach Ted from Whistler, did go out very aggressively last week in the heat and ended up with heat stroke and had to give it up for the day at 5,000 meters. So we've had a real variety of successes in different ways, even if the success is learning maybe what not to do at times. All right, you got another minute here. Hold on to that 50% number. You'll get a full break after that. Awesome. Good to see everybody. Staying committed and focused to what we're doing, wanting to maintain, sustain the work. I've been really, really impressed with any of our people locally who I've ridden with. Definitely indicative of all the work that's been going on. You got another 15 seconds. Just holding it here. Really good. Last 10. All right, and just seeing this through for 3, 2, 1. Now you can sit up, do whatever you want. Easy, easy. Okay, so just a little break here while I tell you what's next. Make sure you have a little bit of water going. Try to remind everyone to pick up their bottle. I know I tend to be bad at this. That was one of the things, checking out. I don't know if you guys know this, but you probably know that on the Pro Tour, the teams ride with radios, and they have a boss in the car that's telling them stuff, from dangerous stuff to interesting stuff to what's happening in the race stuff to even stuff like remember to drink. It's really hot. So interesting, in the Olympics, they don't use race radios. And imagine how difficult it is to have someone buzzing in your ear in your usual work job every day, telling you what to do. You may have been racing for a decade or 15 years or whatever, and you've had that the whole time. And then you suddenly are free-form racing like the old days. And one of the things being, no one's telling you to drink. No one's telling you, remember to drink, remember to drink. I'm watching you. You know, you haven't picked up your bottle in the last 45 minutes. Good idea in this weather, for example, a little note to yourself. Remember, we have those motivational words. Maybe it's remember to drink or just drink will be good. Okay, that's enough easy. We are going to do a few high-end efforts here, again using a bit of cadence. And what you're going to do is at an 80 RPM, you're going to find your 85% number. We're going to back off the cadence so you'll know you're in your gear. Now, smart trainers, you're going to have to make this adjustment, right? Because the bike's going to change and then you won't be able to get the turnover. So you perhaps aren't going to be backing down the RPM. I'll keep this tight. We're going in 30 seconds. Everybody find 80 cadence and everybody start to creep the gear in. You're just going to try to get to your max cadence in this gear. So that's a lot. It's going to be over your MAP. We're going to go in 10 seconds, 80 cadence, between 8 and 9 out of 10 effort. First one, coming up in 3, 2, 1, up, 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 and wind it up. Come on. All the way. That's 10. Come on, guys. Max leg speed. Do what you can. 10. Coming up to 5. 3, 2, 1. Let it go. Easy. Ride easy now. Recover. Recover. We'll take a good minute of super easy, and then 30 seconds of getting ourselves set up again. So for those of you on rollers, regular bikes, regular trainers, Cyclops, any of those, probably Kaiser, you can drop your cadence after finding your gear. You might want to stand and get into it a little bit. You can do that as well. Do the next one seated though. Those of you with smart trainers, just be ready to get it to your 85% number at an 80 cadence. Give it a little increase in watts halfway through. Do the best you can. Okay, 80 cadence now, everybody. Bring the gear up. 15 more seconds. I want you at 85%. Or just before. 10. Come on, everyone. Try this one seated. Big turnover now. In 3, 2, 1. Come on, guys. Roll it up. Don't blow yourself up. Get a little fierce. Come on. MAP. A little bit more. Halfway. Hold on to it. Come on, guys. 10. Give me 5. 3, 2, and let it go. Whew. Ouch. Recover. Recover. I was talking last week a little bit about trying to work with some people in their training who have never really done polarized efforts. They're always trying to go too hard in between everything. In our first sets, we were trying to compromise our recovery to get used to the effort coming off something that's not fully recovered, full rest. In these, I want you to be trying to achieve that big number, even if it's for 10, 15 seconds, so you're resting between. How is it that we don't like to rest? Because the most important thing about our training Nothing good happens until you rest. 30 seconds. 80 cadence again. Bring the cadence down. Start bringing the gear up. Get a little slug of water in there. 15 seconds to go. A little more gear. 10. Okay, if you want to stand through some of this, do so. In 2, in 1. Come on, guys, get after it. Push, 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 push. Eyes up. Body arrow. Keep the legs a little faster, little faster. Halfway. Come on. 10. Little faster. Last 5. Come on, all the way. Tip that big number over. 2, 1. Easy. One more. Hard thing for a lot of us who've started, actually include myself in this. I started cycling relatively late in life, but still in my 20s at least. But when you're taking it up in later years, come off an injury, come off another sport, some of these things you just haven't trained, these systems, and it is a part of the sport. Explosive power is a big part applied to a lot of things, as well as it being endurance. It's kind of unique that way. 20 seconds, this is your last one. I always like to say, last as fastest. Actually, that's a Jasmine thing. Last as fastest. See if you can tip that number way over. Mostly seated, keep arrow. Gonna go in just over 5. Come on, give me that gear. 2, 1, here we go. Come on, 30 seconds. This is our final one. Just keep saying to yourself, up, up. Lift the leg speed. Halfway. Up, up. Come on, guys. 10 seconds to go. Count it down if you want. 5, 3, 2, and across the line. Ooh. Back it off. Recover, recover. Nicely done. When you do hard efforts like this, you are dipping into generating a lot of lactate in your legs, which is what makes them partially feel like they want to stop. All in there. I actually remember my first introduction to that feeling really hard was running. I somehow got recruited to run an 800 meters at university. I had to fill in for someone at a track meet. Oh my gosh. Last 200 meters. I had no idea how hard that short little distance can feel when your arms are numb and your legs are basically feel like they're 50 pounds each. Okay, nice. Turnover. Thanks, everybody. Really good effort. I'd like you to keep just turning the pedals over. Again, finishing off, especially, you know this, after you've done hard efforts, you really need to move the blood around. It's going to pay off tomorrow, today even, tomorrow. Drinking lots of water right now. So let's just make this part a little structured. Easy, easy gear. Effort, under 5 out of 10, 50%. As low as you want though. And I'm gonna have you just bring up the leg speed again, up and down, just nice and fluid, thinking about that rotation. So from somewhere in the 90 range, bring it up to 100. We're not gonna do the super high overreaching. We're just going to tap on the pedals, feel a nice rhythm. I'm gonna give you little cues from 100, 20 seconds we'll go up to 105. Deep breaths, feel the recovery coming in, shoulders down. Drink while you're doing it. Let's work on that multitasking. Had one of my race team guys go out with one of my athletes on the island, and he said, yeah, he was really good, but you know, you take for granted everything you can do on a bike, and then when somebody's struggling, pedaling and drinking, you go, oh, I guess I learned that somewhere along the way. And the thing is, what people do a lot is back off the pressure on the pedals, which is what causes challenges in group rides. Okay, tip it over 105, up, just a little bit. Last couple of minutes here. Feel the rhythm. Another thing we've been doing kind of on the same note in our progression sessions outside, riding in a group and trying to stay on wheels around a corner, around a downhill, something like that. One of the guys said to me the other day, it looks so easy on TV. Like, yeah, it does. Thousands and thousands of hours in it. Okay, we're gonna start bringing it down again. 105. Should be feeling a bit more relaxed now. And your last minute coming up. Under 100 when you feel you want to be there. And there you go. Nice and easy. And just back it off to whatever you feel. Good job. Nice riding, everyone. Get some water in. It sure has come around quickly, but I'm gonna be heading off doing Olympic kind of stuff coming up. I think I get as nervous for the commentating as I used to for the actual racing. Definitely has its taxing moments. So, in my absence, you're gonna meet Joni, also an Olympian and coach, all around great girl. And so she'll be filling in Wednesdays for me, and I encourage you to join her. Okay, so for the workout today, that's a wrap.